So, hello and welcome back. So, top CEOs don't just follow generic productivity advice. So, they know themselves inside and out, their strengths, weaknesses, and natural tendencies. So, they design their work habits and decision making processes around their own personality. Again, for example, a high openness CEO might embrace experimentation and innovation, like they implement it in their strategy. A high conscientiousness CEO will likely have structured schedules and tight systems. A highly extroverted leader might thrive in meetings, while an introvert CEO works best in deep focus time. I wanted to share a story about how I, as a CEO, learned to prioritize differently, and why understanding your personal style and your company's DNA is the key to success. So, you see, when you step into the role of a CEO, it's not just about managing tasks. It's about setting priorities that align with the big picture goals of your company while staying true to your strengths and your company's core values. But this was not something I figured out overnight. It took years of trial and error and self-discovery. In my 25 years of working, I've gone through countless cycles of changing priorities, trying different methods, adjusting strategies, and learning the hard way what works and what does not. So early on, I thought productivity meant tackling everything on my to-do list. But eventually, I realized that being busy does not always mean being effective. The pivotal moment came when I understood that I needed to define my company's DNA, the essence of what makes us unique and successful. So this idea really hit home when I read Jim Collins' Built to Last. So it made me ask, is my company customer-centric? Is it product-centric? Or is it employee-centric? For us, the answer was clear. We are customer-centric. That changed everything about how I prioritize. Once I understood that our company's DNA was all about solving customer pain points and providing excellent service, my priorities naturally shifted. I started focusing on tasks that had the highest impact on customer satisfaction. So sales targets, they weren't just numbers. They were a reflection of how well we were meeting customer needs. Innovation, so it wasn't about shiny new products. So it's about finding better ways to solve customer problems. Even employee satisfaction, that tied back to how engaged and motivated our team was to serve our customers better. But here's the thing, understanding your company's DNA is only part of the equation. You also need to understand yourself. So based on my personality trait findings, I have a high conscientiousness personality. Once I set priorities, I naturally develop systems and organize processes to achieve those goals. So this helped me stay consistent and disciplined in reaching our targets. But I also learned something else. You can't do it all yourself. That is where aligning my personal style with the company's needs became crucial. So to make sure my personal approach was in sync with the company's goals, so I developed a few key systems. Number one is monthly and quarterly check-ins. We regularly review where we are as a company, but we don't just look at the numbers. We see insights, factual metrics to ensure we're sticking to our core values. Are we still solving customer pain points, or are we delivering the best service possible? Second is objective tactics. When it comes to implementing strategies, I stay objective. It's not about what I want to do, it's about what the company needs. And then third is orchestrating the team and analyze the strengths and weaknesses of my team, including myself. So I assign tasks based on who's best suited for the job, ensuring everyone is playing to their strengths. So I'm pulling out a slide here. So how can you do the same? Here are 3 steps to get started. Number 1 is define your company's DNA. Again, is your business customer-centric, product-focused, or driven by employee engagement? Knowing this will help you set priorities that drive success. Second is understand your strengths and weaknesses. Are you highly organized like me? Or maybe you thrive in creative problem solving? Recognizing your natural tendencies will help you focus on what you do best. And then third is build systems around both of them. So create processes that align your personal strengths with your company's goals. Regular check-ins, clear metrics, and thoughtful delegation can help bridge the gap between who you are and what your company needs. Okay, let's discuss some scenarios or use cases. Say, let's have a founder that is customer-centric with high extraversion. So the scenario, say, is a guy named Mark, founder of a direct-to-consumer skincare brand that thrives on engaging with people. So he enjoys networking, talking to customers, and building relationships. So his company's DNA is customer-centric, meaning customer experience, satisfaction, and retention are the key drivers of success. However, as the company grows, Mark struggles with balancing hands-on engagement with strategic planning. So the solution here is to align his natural extraversion with his company's customer-first approach. So Mark sets clear goals and builds systems that leverage his strengths while ensuring scalability. So, setting customer-centric goals as an extroverted founder, Mark sets SMART goals that prioritize customer interactions and building a community. Say, these are sample goals for Mark. First is customer engagement. So, since he is an extroverted guy, so he personally interact with at least 50 customers monthly through social media, Q&As, live sessions, and store visits. Second is customer retention strategy. So the strategy is to increase repeat purchases by 20% within 6 months by implementing a personalized loyalty program. And then third is community building initiative. So by launching a private Facebook group page for VIP customers to provide feedback, share skincare routines, and participate in exclusive events. And lastly is customer service excellence. So in this case, the goal is to maintain a customer response time of under 2 hours for social media, DMs, and emails to enhance trust and loyalty. So let's now proceed to the second step, the building systems to support customer-centric growth. So since Mark's strength is extraversion, meaning he excels in relationships but may struggle with structure, so he builds systems to ensure consistency. First step is to automate customer communication. So he uses a CRM system to track customer interactions and follow-ups. He can set up chatbots for FAQs while ensuring high-touch follow-ups and personalized cases. Next is leveraging his strengths for customer insights by hosting a customer roundtable monthly. These discussions is essential for him to gather feedback and to conduct on-the-ground visits to partner stores to observe real-time customer behavior. And then the third system to support customer-centric growth is to delegate routine tasks. So one strategy is assigning a community manager to handle daily engagement, ensuring conversations continue when he's focused on strategic growth. Another tactic is to hire a customer experience lead to manage support teams and ensure brand consistency in customer service. So with these goals and strategies in building a support system, so what is the outcome? So Mark now spends more time building relationships, advocating for customers, and being the face of the brand without getting bogged down in day-to-day operations. So his startup achieves higher customer loyalty and satisfaction, so leading to organic referrals and increase in revenue. And then the company scales without losing its personal touch. So thanks to the system that he has set up, ensuring a consistent and engaging customer experience. So the key takeaways here is if a founder is customer-centric and extroverted, their role should focus on engagement, advocacy, and community building while using structured systems to support long-term scalability. So going back to the main topic of why CEOs prioritize differently is because, again, they are matching the company's DNA with the CEO's personality. Let's take another example here. Let's talk about, say, a restaurant owner with low conscientiousness, low extraversion, and high openness to experience. And the company's DNA is more product-focused than customer-centric. Let's say a guy named Leo, the owner of a specialty ramen restaurant, is deeply creative and experimental chef, but prefers to work behind the scenes rather than engage with customers or manage daily operations. So his restaurant's DNA, like I said, is product focus, meaning the quality and uniqueness of the food are the brand's key strengths. However, Leo has low conscientiousness, meaning he struggles with organization, consistency, and structured workflows. He also has low extraversion, so he avoids social interactions. He avoids marketing and networking. While his ramen is exceptional, the restaurant suffers from poor organization, inconsistent service, and a lack of visibility, making it difficult to scale. So with those problems, Leo needs to lean into his creativity while delegating structured tasks and leveraging systems to maintain product consistency without requiring his direct involvement. Okay, so again, let's talk about defining the goals of a product-centric company. So this is to support a product-focused strategy. Since Leo's primary strength is openness to experience, his goals should revolve around menu innovation and culinary experience while using systems to handle operations and marketing. So one culinary innovation goal is to develop a new seasonal ramen flavor every quarter, experimenting with global ingredients while maintaining the restaurant's core identity. Second is the product quality goal. So maintain a standardized cooking process to ensure every bowl of ramen tastes exactly as intended, even when Leo is not in the kitchen. Next is operational stability goal. So since this is not his key strength, but since they are aware that he needs a structure, so the goal is to create a structured prep system to avoid ingredient shortages or delays in serving customers. And then lastly is to build a product-driven reputation online through food photography, storytelling, and strategic influencer collaborations without requiring Leo to personally engage in promotions, unlike our first use case, who is a highly extroverted guy, Mark. So again, for this use case, let's talk about the second step. How can we build systems to compensate for low conscientiousness and extraversion, since Leo struggles with structure and prefers to stay behind the scenes? He needs to implement workflows and delegate key responsibilities to ensure smooth operations. So one system is standardizing the cooking process without losing creativity. They can develop a detailed recipe book and kitchen SOPs so that staff can replicate his ramen perfectly. So some regular task is to conduct monthly training sessions to ensure chefs understand the techniques and quality standards. The business can hire, or the company can hire, a restaurant manager to handle customer service, reservations, and daily operations. And now with marketing, they can work with food bloggers and influencers to generate organic buzz instead of relying on personal networking. Another system to support him is to use an automated social media strategy where professional photos and storytelling posts are scheduled without Leo having to manage them directly. Next is streamlining restaurant operations with minimal oversight. They can use POS system that tracks inventory in real time to prevent ingredient shortages, or use a digital ordering system to reduce human error and improve service speed. The delegation of financial management also to an accountant who provides monthly reports, ensuring profitability without requiring Leo to manage the books. So what are the possible outcomes here? So Leo gets to focus on his true passion, which is culinary innovation, without being overwhelmed with management tasks. Or the restaurant builds a reputation for having the best, most unique ramen in the area, attracting loyal customers despite minimal marketing. And then third outcome is a structured kitchen processes and strong operational delegation. The restaurant scales efficiently without compromising quality. So key takeaway here is if a restaurant owner is high in openness but low in conscientiousness and extraversion, they should focus on product excellence while outsourcing operations, marketing, and customer interactions. So by systemizing workflows and leveraging external promotion, they can scale a product-focused business without personal burnout. So at the end of the day, CEOs prioritize differently because they're not just managing their own time. They're steering the ship for the entire company. And when your personal style or personality trait is in harmony with your company's DNA, you'll not only be more productive, you'll lead with clarity, purpose, and impact. So in the next lesson, we'll dive into setting goals aligned with your personality. So see you in the next lesson.